Now we will explore true facts about the hurricane.
The creation of a hurricane requires at least 3 conditions. First, the ocean waters must be warm enough at the surface to put enough heat and moisture into the overlying atmosphere to provide the potential fuel for the engine that a hurricane becomes.
Second, the atmospheric moisture from seawater evaporation must combine with that heat and energy to form the powerful engine needed to propel a hurricane.
Third, a wind pattern must be near the ocean's surface to spiral air inward. Bands of thunderstorms form, allowing the air to warm further and rise higher into the atmosphere. If the winds at these higher levels are relatively light, this structure can remain intact and grow stronger. The beginnings of a hurricane.
Early in the morning on August 29, 2005, Hurricane Katrina struck the Gulf Coast of the United States. When the storm made landfall, it had a Category 3 rating on the Saffir-Simpson hurricane scale. Try saying that 10 times fast. It brought sustained winds of 100 to 140 miles per hour and stretched some 400 miles across.
The storm itself did a great deal of damage, but its aftermath was catastrophic. Dam branches led to massive flooding. Hundreds of thousands of people in Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama were displaced from their homes, and experts estimate that Katrina caused more than $100 billion in damage.
In all, Hurricane Katrina killed nearly 2,000 people and affected some 90,000 square miles of the United States. Hundreds of thousands of evacuees were scattered far and wide. Today, after years of recovery and rebuilding efforts, people along the Gulf Coast have made great strides in returning to life as usual, even as they continue to rebuild.
On August 16, 1992, Hurricane Andrew hit South Florida. Hurricane Andrew was the most powerful hurricane to hit South Florida since Betsy in 1965, when Betsy was a Category 3 hurricane. Andrew was much more powerful than Betsy, although it was a small storm in terms of its size, as it only caused destruction of some 40 miles wide in diameter. Prior to making landfall in South Florida, Andrew had sustained winds of 145 miles per hour in its eye and wind gusts of approximately 175 miles per hour, which made it a Category 5 hurricane on the Saffir-Simpson scale. Andrew's central pressure, the pressure measured in the eye of the storm, was the third lowest of any hurricane to make landfall in the United States, with 922 millibars.
The devastation caused by Andrew was over a very narrow region of South Florida due to the compact size of the storm. However, that narrow path of devastation carved by Andrew was tremendous
And deadly.
There was a total of 65 deaths attributed to the storm, while around 100 to 250,000 in South Florida were left homeless. There was a total of approximately 600,000 homes and businesses that were destroyed or severely impaired by the winds, waves, and rain from Andrew. In total, the damage caused by Andrew in both South Florida and Louisiana totaled $26 billion, the most costly natural disaster in U.S. history.
This is the dropson. The dropson is an 11-inch long tube about the size of a cardboard paper tube or a paper towel roll. It's fairly light and flimsy, and includes a little parachute to slow it down. When it is ejected from the global hawk, it drifts downward, measuring and transmitting information about the temperature and humidity. As the wind moves the dropson, the little global positioning computer chip transmits the position. By comparing positions every few seconds, we can estimate how far the winds move the dropson, and thereby get a wind speed and direction.
The end. Bye.